go. Is it gonna stop? Oh, oh. And he hit it. Pretty durable though. I've crashed this thing probably about 20 times already, and it's still flying. Hey, what's going on everyone? So today we're gonna be testing out the HoverAir X1 Pro. About a year and a half ago, in May 2023, HoverAir came out with their first really quick and easy to use drone, and now they finally updated it to the HoverAir X1 Pro and the HoverAir X1 Pro Max. But this is the HoverAir X1 Pro, not the Pro Max. We're gonna be going through all the features of this thing today, who I think it's good for, what I like, what I dislike, and just see how this little drone works in action, following me around on some e-bikes and a few other ways that it can track you. But let's get into the details. Now this is supposed to follow you up to 26 miles per hour with burst speeds up to 37 miles per hour, which is awesome. It's way faster than their original version that they came out with last year. And that's honestly one of the main reasons why I didn't purchase their original version, was because it just wasn't fast enough for me going 20 to 28 miles an hour on e-bikes. But this one here should have no problem keeping up with me at all. And as a disclaimer, HoverAir did send this to me for testing and review, but we're gonna show you exactly how this HoverAir X1 Pro performs today. And if you'd like to pick up one of these drones after watching this video, I'll leave links down below in the description. Now the first thing I absolutely love about this drone is that it's so small and portable. You could just put it right in your pocket, pull it out, deploy it very quick and easily, turn it on. You should wait for the OmniTerrain to kick on, and sometimes that's going to take a few minutes to do, but it's going to be a lot more stable if you let that Omni sensor, engage and turn on before you take off. But very easy to take out, quickly deploy, and get ready to film a quick clip. And that's the first thing I absolutely love about this drone. There's really no thinking to it. Get it set up into the mode you want, hit the button, and it does its thing itself, and then comes back to you and lands right back in the palm of your hand. Very simple, very quick and easy to do. Okay, the Omni sensor is turned on, and you can tell by the left-hand corner on the drone. It also tells you in the app if it's on. So right now I have it in 5-foot orbit. Easily just takes out, starts recording itself. Now I have it in 5-foot orbit flat, which means it's going to continue a pretty flat level going around me. I have it set for 360 degrees, which means it's going to orbit around one time. Maybe I have it set to 720. So you can set it to 360 or 720. It'll hover around you either once or twice. And then once it's done, it will automatically stop recording, and then land back in the palm of your hand super easily. Yeah, so I don't know why I did more than one loop. I thought I had it set to 360. Just hold your hand out, lands right back in there perfectly. So now what's pretty cool is you could change the settings either on the drone with the buttons on it to the different modes, and you could change the parameters of each of those modes as well. So if I wanted it to orbit 8 feet out from me, I could change it on the drone or in the app, which is really nice.
Zoom out.
We'll try zoom out. Now you could set it for up to 30 feet. 30 feet's the max that it will go. Unless you do manual control, then you could take it higher. And this does have rear collision detection, but it only has the rear collision detection as of now in dolly mode and zoom out mode. So keep that in mind. That's the only two modes that the rear collision detection works in, and it doesn't work at a super fast speed. And we're gonna actually try that with this tree here. I don't know if it will stop or not. I haven't tried this yet with the tree. So let's try it.
30 feet. Zoom out.
It may actually, it's either gonna crash or stop, or it might go higher than the tree and go right through it. So that'll be kind of cool if it does. So it started recording automatically. It's gonna go ahead out and up 30 feet, stop, and then come back in. And it actually went right through the tree. It looks like 30 feet might be right about at the tree, so maybe I have to move closer and try it again, and we'll see if it stops. But it'll come back in automatically. You'll see the red light on the front. Once it turns off, it stops recording. And then you can land it right in the palm of your hand just like that. Super simple and easy. Let's get a little closer to that tree and see if this rear collision detection actually works. Now it's not obstacle avoidance. It will not go around objects. It's collision detection and will slow down and stop and then return to you in this mode when you have the collision detection turned on. Let's see if we can get it to hit that tree. Is it gonna hit? Nope, to the edge of it. Now one thing I noticed, as I was testing this drone over the past week and a half is that there is really no front collision avoidance. So if I get too close to this, it basically hit me. But I noticed in most of the modes when I was in front, you know, the camera traveling frontwards, it did not stop at all. I was flying it, went down through my pavilion at a very slow speed. It hit the post of the pavilion and crashed. I crashed this drone multiple times already, so that would be cool if in the future they could put some kind of collision avoidance in the front using the camera, so that if it senses it's going to get close, that it will stop, shut off. Would be very nice. This is the Pro version, like I said, but on the Pro Max version, it actually has a camera in the rear to help with that collision avoidance as well. So the avoidance should be a little bit better on the Pro Max version. So one more try. Let's see if we can hit this tree. Oh, it's going for it. It's going. Is it going to stop? Oh, and it crashed. So it was either going too fast that time, but it crashed to the ground. It was heading straight to the center of it. Now, that was a pretty thick branch. I was assuming it would have stopped, but it did not. It came crashing to the ground, but luckily, nothing broke. All right, now let's try it on a bigger structure behind and see if it senses it now. See if I can catch it if it crashes. Woo. Nope, did not sense it, but it is going to land now. Now that is one thing I noticed that I do not like about this drone, and hopefully they can update this in the future. A lot of times it'll sense collision like it just did, and it did not crash, but once it senses that, it will automatically land. And the only thing I don't like about that is that if you're somewhere where you don't want it to land, say there's a branch overhanging maybe a stream or something, it's going to land in that stream. Or if it's somewhere like on the other side of a stream or river, or maybe on a cliff or on a hillside and it lands, there's no way to engage this drone to take off other than hitting the button on the drone. So you have to physically get to the drone to reactivate it and take off. You cannot go in the app and hit takeoff. You can't use the beacon and take off. You have to have the drone in your hand and hit the button. Hopefully that's something they can update in the future. All right, let's try this again. I changed it to 10-foot zoom out, so let's see if it crashes this time. So that time it stopped. Maybe it has something to do with 30-foot zoom out that it's not working. Let's change it to 20 feet.
Zoom out.
Let's see if it works now. So maybe it was just a glitch that it wasn't working for some reason. I don't know. Let's see. Is it going to work? Ooh, it got kind of close that time, but it did stop. So I almost feel like the higher mode that you have it in, the closer it's getting.
20 feet.
And that's what's cool. You could change all the settings on there super quick and easily. And with the display on top, it's really easy to see what setting you're in. That's what I love about it. So let's try out that rear collision detection now with zoom out 20 foot. And it was very, very close. Actually, it's touching the wall now. So I think they still need to do a little bit of updating on the firmware for that. But there's no doubt, I feel like eventually maybe some firmware updates should fix that. Let's try 30 feet now and see if it hits the wall. I have a feeling it's going to. Maybe because it's going faster when it's on 30 feet. Maybe it's going too fast to sense the wall. But hopefully I can catch it this time without it crashing to the concrete. And it stopped that time. So like I said, no rhyme or reason to when it's going to sense the rear collision detection and stop. Now it's working perfect. Let's try it from a further distance from the wall.
30 feet.
And see if it stops. And OmniTerrain is turned on. So this is 30-foot zoom out mode. Rear collision detection turned on. And it hit. And when it senses a collision, it just automatically lands. Okay, now we're going to try dolly track, which is, it follows you as you're walking towards it. It follows in front of you. And we're going to see if the collision avoidance works now. Now I tried this in a house and it worked great. So let's see if it works now. Coming towards me. Let's go back. And it worked. So the rear collision detection is working in dolly track mode. It's stopping. Now if you go too fast, it will not work. It only works to about 3.5 miles per hour according to the spec sheet. I'm going to go ahead and walk fairly fast here and see if it will hit. So it worked that time. So Well, just crashed. So as you can see, sometimes the rear collision works great and sometimes it doesn't. No rhyme or reason to when it works or when it doesn't, in my opinion. I had it working really great with the zoom out feature in the house. It was stopping at the wall every time, but I come out here and for some reason now it's not working. Let's try again.
Zoom out.
Like I said, I tried this in the house a few times and it worked perfectly. Let's see if it stops. Nope, it did not stop. And the battery flew out. Pretty durable though. I've crashed this thing probably about 20 times already. The only thing I would be cautious of is the camera. That's the only thing that I could see breaking, maybe a prop here or there. And that would have been nice if they gave you extra props, at least one each for all 4 of them. And the battery just clips in there. Haven't had a problem with it coming out, unless you crash it obviously, but it just clips right in there. So very durable. These cages are very durable. I would just be cautious of that camera breaking. All right, everyone, so I just figured out sidetrack. I had to fly a few times to get that mode to unlock, but in sidetrack, you launch it off to your side or whatever orientation you want, and it will hold that orientation pretty much on that side of you. So I'll show you here. So sidetrack, I'm gonna continue here, full speed here. 15 mile an hour, 16, 17. Whew. And I'm gonna go back the other way. And I think this might be my favorite mode. It's pretty awesome. It works pretty good. It'll stay on the side of you. Now you do have to watch out for certain things. Like it was kind of close to my garage right there. I'm gonna come up through here. You do want to be cautious of what's around you, but it will always stay on this side of me no matter where I'm at. So, for example, if I go this way, it should loop around there and stay on that side of me. But it'll always be orientated on this side of me. So if I turn around and come back, it'll probably be behind me now. And then if I turn around and go towards it, it should be maybe, yeah, it's still on the left side of me. Oh wait, it's actually on the opposite side of me now than what I started at. So pretty cool. But to stop this mode, you just stop, and in 3 seconds, it will stop recording and come to you, and then that's when you can land it. Pretty easy. So let's hop on here and see how good it tracks me. So far so good. It's actually working really good tracking me on dolly track. But I'm not sure why I want it to follow me in front, not from behind. So, okay, I just turned around. Yeah, strange though. I want it to follow me in front of me, not behind me. Let me see if I turn around. Oh, it's a little crazy. Oh, almost hit the fence. Whew, almost. If I go slower, let's see what happens here. Maybe I was going too fast. Oh, it's getting close to that fence again. So once I slowed down, it's following me pretty good from the front now. I feel like I should have selected it to follow a little further away. Okay, now it's working pretty decent. Let's go this way. Uh-oh, nope. Got stuck in the net. And while this thing's in flight, if it flips upside down, it automatically shuts off. So that is one nice feature. Now this is where you gotta really watch. So yeah, it's already, yeah, you're gonna wanna keep this thing close to you. See, it's already in the weeds. This probably isn't gonna do good on dolly mode going through the woods here. Let's try follow and see how that works.
Hover. Zoom out. Follow.
Because there's too much stuff here for dolly track. It'll probably hit a bunch of stuff. Because these trails are kind of narrow.
Middle. Follow.
I'm gonna start it in front of me first and see what happens. All right. All right, so it waited there for me. Now it's following me. And again, this is without the remote. And there's some really fine branches here. It probably won't see them. It seems like it's following me fairly well though. Almost my same path that I'm taking. Let's try to go around this turn here and see what happens. All right. Let me turn around and go back. So it seems like it's following me really good through here. Let's see if it follows me if I zigzag. Let's see if it zigzags. Let me see if it zigzags. It's kind of zigzagging. Whew. And it just lost me. Did it find me again? All right, it lost me, but then it just found me and continued. So it did not stop recording that time. Let's try to make it out of these woods and see what happens. It's working great, guys. That's awesome. This mode is really working well. That's cool. All right, now we're gonna try sidetrack. This is mid and flat, and he likes doing wheelies, so we're gonna see how good this works with wheelies. You wait till the light turns red. That's when it starts recording, and then go for it. Followed him pretty good. Go ahead, don't worry about the drone, do your thing. Working pretty good. Just gonna take off there. We're on dolly track again, so it should follow around in front of him. I told him to just not worry about the drone, just do his wheelies, take off, have a good time, and see what happens. So the drone just kind of got a little crazy there. Now it's following him, so it did get behind him that time again for some reason. And it is on mid track, so not close, and it's still following fairly close. We'll see what the footage looks like. Come on, give me a good one. Good long one. And he hit it, and the battery flew out. Tumbled a few times, rolled a few times, still looks good. Thank God the camera didn't break. That's the only thing I'm worried about is the camera, but the battery flew out again. Let's see if it still works. Yep, no problem.
Current mode. Dolly track.
Actually, it was on dolly track mid-low, so let's try mid-flat. Maybe that's why. Maybe it was following too low. So now it's on flat mode. We'll see if that follows any better. Looks like it's following pretty decent. So if you're worried about it hitting you, you might want to put it on far instead of mid, and then it'll probably follow further away from you. I think because he's stopping and going so much, it's kind of messing it up. It doesn't know what to do. But if he was going at a steady speed, turn around and go fast on the way back. See if it follows at a steady speed. So it's following pretty far behind now. All right, turn around and go fast on the way back. Let it follow you. Let it stay in front of you. Oh, hold on. Now it's behind you again. So I think they still might need to tweak the software. Now it's kind of on the side. Now it's doing almost like it. There it goes. Now it's around the front. Just go fast. All right, so it's keeping up good now. I think it was just because he was starting and stopping that it didn't know what to do. So I think it's that's why it hit him, because he was starting and stopping trying to do his wheelies. And it looks like if he loops around slow, it's going to stay in the front of him. But if he goes fast and loops around, sometimes it'll get behind him. So if you kind of watch it when you're turning around, you can get it to stay in front of you. But if you turn too fast, it's going to get behind you. All right, this is middle sidetrack. There we go. That's pretty sweet. I'm going to love to see the footage on that one. Hopefully the whole bike's in this clip. Oh, that's a sweet wheelie there. That was a nice one. All right, now turn around and do it the other way. See what the drone does. So let's see if it follows him around to the side. So now it stayed on the side of him. It's kind of behind, but still on the side of him, kind of at a diagonal a little bit. He's so worried about that drone. Not paying attention to what he's doing. Quit worrying about the drone, just go have fun. Pretty sweet, huh?
Yeah.
You're too worried about what that drone's doing though to get a good wheelie in.
No obstacle avoidance. We need to fix the update.
He said no obstacle avoidance. No, there's not. There's collision detection, but like I said earlier, you never know when it's going to work and when it's not, and it only works in dolly track mode and in zoom out mode. And we were in side mode, so there was no avoidance at all there. I actually think it would have been pretty cool if they would have put bigger 45-degree angles here and put a sensor out each side so it can kind of track sideways and backwards at the same time. That would have been pretty neat. Maybe they could do that in the next version. All right, now we're trying middle sidetrack again. Follow me around nicely on the side there. Let's see if we can go up through here. And this is where you're going to want to watch the trees. Whew. Leaves are deep over here because it will fly sideways into a tree for sure. And some of these trees are really close to it right now. Let's go back down through here. I think I absolutely love this mode though. I think this is going to be my favorite mode for sure. Some pretty fine branches here, so it might hit one. Woo! It just got really close to me, almost hit me. You definitely got to be cautious. Watch when you're using this mode through trees like this, that it does not hit one. Because, like I said, not very much obstacle avoidance on this thing. Like right here. Whoa, about took my head off. All right, now we're gonna try a dolly track far flat. And we are on the eCells 5-star because this bike's a 38-mile-an-hour bike. And this is one of the only bikes I have that'll do 38. This drone is supposed to go up to 26 mile an hour with bursts, short bursts of up to 37. So let's see how well it does. "26, 27, 28. Whew. So I had it set for dolly track, and I got a little bit too fast. It ended up being behind me, so let's see what happens this time. It's still in dolly track mode. I'm going to start out slowly and then take off. I thought I was going to hit that telephone pole. That was like 20 some miles an hour. I slowed down because I thought it was going to hit that light pole. So let's see what happens now. So it seems like if you go gradual, 23, 25, 26. Woo! That was close to them trees, holy cow. All right, let's turn around here and see what happens here. Now it's following me. "23, 24, 25, 26, 27. All right, it stopped pretty good that time. Let's turn back around the other way. I want it to get right in front of me. There we go. 20, 25, 26, 27, 28. Oh, whoo, that was real close to that tree. Holy cow. That was real close. You got to pay attention to where the trees are at for sure. 22, 23, 25, 26, 27, 28. So definitely way faster than their original drone. And it should keep up with me just fine. This is 22, 24, 25. So yeah, I think it's gonna work out pretty good. Let's just loop around a few different ways. And mind you, I still have this on dolly track, but for some reason it is behind me. I think that's because I keep changing orientation. Like I said, if you don't change orientation, it should follow you pretty good. Let's try dolly track here. And as long as you go slow enough, I think it will follow around you. This is about 10 miles an hour. I'm gonna go down the sidewalk up here and see what happens. Like I said, you wanna be mindful of where things are at around you, because the obstacle or collision detection isn't gonna work when you're going past like 3 miles an hour according to the manual. And honestly, in my opinion, I don't feel like it works all the time, even going less than 3 miles an hour. So you gotta be mindful, but it is gonna be nice for certain clips. It's working fairly well. Let's pick up quick here. 28. That was crazy. It come around and just looped right back around. I don't know what it was doing that time. If I crash it going this fast, I'm pretty sure it'll break. 27, 28. So, kept up with me fairly good. Honestly, I'm afraid to go 38 and go through those pillars and stuff, because if it hits one of those pillars that go in at 38 over there, or one of them upright things that come down and close, it'll probably destroy it. But that's what's going to be awesome about this drone, is that it's just very quick and easy to deploy, very nice for getting quick clips. This is one mode that I'm probably going to use a lot, especially when I'm on vacation and out touring spots. You get a nice open area, you could do a nice hover around you, or the zoom out feature where it flies out 30 feet or however many feet you have it set to and comes back in. I think this clip's going to be awesome as well for certain scenarios when you're hiking on vacation in different areas and just want to get a good view of the surrounding area. Pretty awesome. Or you could do zoom out flat. The last clip was zoom out high. This is zoom out flat, so that it just flashes straight out from you, and then it will flash straight back in, just to give you a little bit of a different perspective. They also have zoom out low too, but it might hit that picnic table if I do that one. Here's the orbit mode, 8 feet. And it will go 8 feet out from you and then circle around, so it'll give you about a 16-foot orbit. And this is 8 feet flat. Gonna let it circle around there, and you can see if I move out of the frame, it's gonna continue to track me, but it's gonna continue to go in that 8-foot orbit, which is pretty neat. So you could set this up to keep tracking you, or you could set it up to where it just maintains the camera on the center. Okay, now you'll see that when I move out of the frame, it should continue to go around and it will keep the bike in the center of the frame now instead of keeping the camera on me. I think that's an awesome feature, an awesome setting to have. You can set the drone to orbit around and you can move all around and it will continue to track you. So pretty cool setting. I think I'll use this setting a lot. And then when it's done, it will stop, return to the home point, and it will just sit there and hover until you go back and land it in the palm of your hand. And that's what I love about this drone. Very quick, easy to deploy, to get quick clips to put in different footage and just to record some memorable experiences. And I think that that's the person that this is going to be for, somebody that wants something super compact and portable, lightweight. You don't have to register this. It's about 190 grams. It's under the 250 gram weight limit for the FAA to have to register it. However, keep in mind the drone rules and regulations are still going to follow even if you're using this. So you're not going to be able to fly this thing over crowds of people or in national parks or restricted areas. So keep that in mind. Make sure you follow all your drone restrictions. Make sure you look them up, follow all your restrictions in your area, because you still have to follow the law. Now, a few things that I don't like that I'm hoping they can update in the future with a firmware update. And with that being said, I was on the current version when I filmed this video. However, today is the last day of me editing this video and they just come out with a new update, 7.3.4. So I'm assuming hopefully that helps with some of the features like the collision detection. But some of the things that I didn't like was that the rear collision detection didn't seem like it always worked, even in the two modes that it worked in. Sometimes it did, sometimes it didn't. When it was in orbit mode and sidetrack, sometimes I felt like the camera should have been angled down a bit to have more of me and my bike in the frame. And there really is no way to adjust that when it's in the auto modes. That would be awesome if they gave you some kind of way to adjust that, whether it be a tilt adjustment or something in the app so that you can give more skyline above or more ground below. That would be an awesome setting to have. And I also didn't really like that it didn't have much front end collision avoidance or collision detection. Seemed like when it was getting close to objects, I feel like they can maybe update that with a firmware update to where the camera would stop the drone a little bit better, even at slower speeds, like when it hit the post of my gazebo. Now, another thing that I love that I didn't mention is when I open this thing up, the quality of this thing is top notch. I was very impressed. It really reminded me of something like Apple when I was unboxing it. Very, very good quality product. Everything from the drone to the beacon to the case. Now, that's another thing I wanted to mention is I did get the beacon with this drone, but did not really get a chance to test it out much. I think they had some firmware issues with it that they needed to update, so hopefully this new update will help with it. I did use it once, but not in this video. Everything that you've seen in this video was without the beacon, and honestly, it tracked me great without it. I'm gonna be very excited to test out the beacon once they get that firmware up and going for it to make it work better. But you can clip this joystick together, use it as a full-fledged controller for the drone, clip your phone in there. Very, very awesome. Very, very awesome the way that this beacon works. Has a little screen on it that you could see it tracking you. I think that will be a great feature when the drone's behind you. You won't have to use your phone, but you can still see the drone and where it's at on that beacon. So that's going to be amazing to test out and try out in the future. But I just wanted to use the drone pretty much as itself without the beacon to see how good it did, to see how well it tracked, because I feel like a lot of people are going to purchase just the drone itself to be able to just get quick clips, put in their footage, family memories, things like that. And I think this drone is going to be awesome for that. So let me know down below what you guys thought, how the drone performed, and what you think, what you would like to use a drone like this for. Thanks for watching, everyone. Please consider subscribing, and I'll see all of you around on the next one.